Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U, Clutch Key helping to bring you those top plays, so let's get things started. In Valorant, it's the Loyola Maryland Greyhounds taking on the Army West Point Black Knights, taken to map number 1 on Icebox, and the Greyhounds winning the pistol round, so it's looking good for them to go up 10-4, but with the Marshal, it's MIB Police from the Black Knights on the case.
At the same time, but that opportunity won't be afforded. D-Sung, though, could turn this into a rifle. Potentially more. MIB Police from the Raptors doing work with the Marshal and might even present a greater threat. Jumping down with the classic. Turn into a right-click hero. A Marshal in hand. And MIB Police secures a 4K. Force round be damned.
A heroic play from MIB Police, but it would be the Black Knights taking Icebox and winning the series 2-0. Let's go to Rocket League with the St. Lawrence Saints and the Bengals of Buffalo State. Down by 1 in game number 3, and the Bengals are looking for that equalizer in the final minute of the game. Luckily, Jesco decides that, yeah, overtime is probably a good thing going into the last minute.
It's hard in order to even think about getting an insurance goal here.
Oh boy, it does feel like SLU as well, just trying to play survival mode. No, maybe they're thriving instead. A good bouncer from Elmo Fingers does get past one defender. Turks moving this across the width of the field. The pinch, finding the midfield here. Good catch from Jesco, putting a shot on target as well. Jesco!
Overtime, it would go in game number 3, and actually the Saints would win overtime, but as for the series, it would be all Buffalo State taking the dub 4-1. Overwatch 2 action with the Great Danes of Albany and the Spartans of UNC Greensboro. Third map on Havana, and the Great Danes want to cap first point in just under a minute. But Magix has a trick up their sleeve, and in fact, they might have more than one.
Out of here, they want to get that kill, and they're doing it. Jesse, they are doing it. Now Magix is back on the field. Lobs Nick's head, oh my god. Showing Volks in the business end of that too. The payload is still being contested, and it's all, oh my.
Not only is Magix one a sniper, but the Spartans had a one of their own in the form of a broom, as the Spartans would go on to win the series 3-0. To League of Legends, where the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern take on the Dukes of James Madison. 12th minute in game number 2, and the Polar Bears want their second dragon. On the Kiana, though, Shomi is about to show us what robbery on the Rift looks like.
Great rotation onto this. They got the first dragon. They are likely to pick up the second here, and the Shomi can somehow make this work.
Well, they're trying, and over the wall, they got a ward and said snipe. And the steal! The steal from Shomi said you only...
Dragon stolen, and even with the kill lead, the Polar Bears also got that stolen away. In the end, Dukes would come out with the dub 2-0. Let's head to Overwatch 2 action with the Aggies of Utah State taking on the Rams of Colorado State. Down a map on Nepal, and the Rams need to make some sort of comeback to force map 3. Well, a crazy team fight leads up to why Death Trap lives up to the tag.
You're going to be in a great position. This Dragon Strike might be able to create some separation, but Cass is just taking heads.
Cass rolls
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. Corner judges go for 1, 2, yeah. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy just gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back here to Esports U. We're going to be streaming more of ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We are finally in the first week of playoffs. I'm Combo, joined here by the wonderful
Captain Etsoka. Hello. I wasn't sure who was going to introduce. I thought, were you going to do it? Am I going to do it? But
you should get the honors. Yes. You should get the honors.
It's the Combo and Captain show. Let's go.
So today we've got U Albany up against the NYIT Cybears as one of the first round matches here for playoffs, and so here on day 1. So just as a kind of run back on some of the ruling here, we are going for a best of 3, 3v3, and there is no double elimination here. It's just a single elim bracket. So if your team loses here, you are out. So got to be really careful. Playoffs are cutthroat, deathly competition. So many insane teams here. 2 teams of Fisher College to be looking out for as our top 2 seeds for the bracket. As something to point out, that's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, we'll be hopping into UAlbany and NYIT shortly. Captain, how are you feeling about this one?
I am feeling absolutely great. One, I'm already warmed up. I'm ready to go. I just came back from the Battle for the South Smash Land over there in Valdosta, Georgia, and it was absolutely litty. So I'm already warmed up. As a matter of fact, I just drove in this morning, so like I am still pretty exhausted, but still pretty much on the level of competitive Smash. So like I'm ready to get this one. I'm ready to keep the marathon going of all these Smash matches. So I cannot wait to see what type of matchups we're going to see today.
Yeah, super hype on my end as well. Pretty excited. Got some momentum on my end as well. Just casting all throughout a local here on Saturday or in DFW. Great times, great times. Also got that Smash Flame, that fire. Got to keep it rolling, keep it moving. I do think we might have our starting players, but out of respect for not getting things wrong, I'm going to wait it out just a little bit and then see who we're going to hop into. But we can go over some of the kind of proposed roster that we've got for both teams here. So on UAlbany side, I believe we have D Danger, Katsuyusha, and Edison / Razor. And then from the Cyber side, we're going to have Satoran, Omen, and DLT King 25. Not entirely sure the characters that these guys play off the top of my head, but I'm sure all will be revealed in due time. Sorry if I butchered anyone's take. Katyusha, that's my bad. But yeah, we're just looking to get into it. We got lobby all set up. People are fired up, and we're going to get into it. This is the first week of playoffs here after months of a grueling group stage, absolute stomps one way, super death, game 3 down to last stock, last hit type stuff. Other ways, we've had an entire realm of matches all throughout. One thing to note is on the Cyber side, we've seen Percival kind of put up a fantastic performance with Kazuya in the past. Reportedly won't be playing today. Not sure if that's 100% true, but that kind of seems to be the way that we're looking right now. And for the Cyber side of things, that could be a pretty big shakeup from what they're used to. So let's see if the rest of their team can handle it. And on UAlbany's end, seems like they got some strong hitters as well. D-Danger is a name I can recall from seasons past. So champions are finally going to butt heads. I think the records are pretty similar throughout the group stage. I want to say it was 5-2 for UAlbany and 5-3 for the Cybears, somewhere in that range. And that's why they're matched up right here. So pretty much dead even match. Seeding isn't going to interfere here. It's just who can do it right here in this final best 3.
You know what? You had already mentioned that there was a Kazuya pick, and you know what? I'm really interested to see that one because I've seen a lot of action this weekend, particularly around a lot of the fighting brawler class. And to mention Jazo, we got to see Jazo really pop off with the Kazuya. Pretty sure they set a record. They went into the top 32 and literally finished the match out in 50 seconds. That's how long it took. Wow. 3-stock match ended in 50 seconds, and it was with the Kazuya pick.
That's all it needs to be.
If they're gonna kind of set a precedent so that way we could see more Kazuya. But it's interesting because when they made it into the top 8, Jazo ended up actually sticking with a Ken pick, and for a moment they hovered over the Kazuya, ended up not picking them and then losing the match and unfortunately falling out of the top 8. So it is going to be interesting to see, to me, how this Kazuya pick is going to kind of evolve moving forward.
Although, unfortunately, we're not entirely sure if we're going to get him. That Kazuya is not on the currently signed in list of players on the Cyber side. Yeah, I'm honestly also a really big fan of watching Kazuya. That is just what it is. All the fighting game characters, especially coming from an FGC background on my end, super great fun to watch. Ryu, Ken, Terry, and Kazuya, some of my favorites, just to see the shield pressure and crazy combos. But looks like we're going to be hopping into our first game very shortly here. Let's get into it. We got Terry versus Yoshi. All right, so we're getting some good fighting game action here. Always love to see it. So I believe we're going to have Satoran on the Terry and UAlbany's D-Danger on the Yoshi. We are starting off on PS2. Let's get it moving. So far, nothing too crazy interactions. Finally have a bit of approach with Yoshi Bear. Oh, the shield pressure from Terry. So that's something I kind of brought up before. It's something you really have to be looking out for. The true input burn knuckle can do so much shield damage. Crack shoot can do so much shield damage. You can go for the double down tilt setups. There's a lot coming your way when it comes to Terry. There's a forward tilt crack shoot, keeping Yoshi at ledge. How is Yoshi going to secure this stock? Oh, there's the forward air spike. Now Terry, Satoran, higher stock behind.
And it was so funny because throughout the entire weekend, I was like trying to channel someone to pick a Yoshi. I had my Yoshi shirt on. It was Jurassic Park Yoshi, so it was even more of a summoning for Yoshi. And I didn't get to see him, so I'm really happy we get to see them today as they are taking on the Terry pick. And Terry, without a doubt, the speediest brawler besides Little Mac. So again, Terry, such a volatile and such a really versatile pick to go with here. I mean, there's so many aspects you have to watch out for, not just from the melee that is unbelievably speedy, but also you have the go meter to take into account and how quickly they can change the pace of the map already on their second stock for Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi's trying to rack up that percent really quickly. Got a nice jab reset combo afterwards. Great percent held up. There's the true input rising tackle. Try to use that invul to get out of disadvantage, but still going to tank that forward smash damage to the face. Okay, one more egg pop. Go is online. There's a power zone. Just not going to auto cancel. He's going to up smash punish for it. There it is again. Getting whip punish on these power zones. Got to be careful. Nice burn knuckle into air dash. He tries to parry back there. Doesn't quite get it. Nice avoidance on the down smash. It's over 100% difference right now. Can Terry pull out a crazy go move and try to take this stock, or is it going to be?
I mean, they tried, but at the end of the day, it was a good old-fashioned tail whip that was able to get Terry out into the blast zone and take that second stock. And now you can see Avalis with a pretty impressive one-stock lead. And now, finally, Terry starting to add on a little bit of this damage and trying to catch up.
Yeah, this is Terry's prime time. If there's any character that's got solid explosive damage, it really will be any of the fighting carrying characters. So one solid down tilt setup at ledge into a burn knuckle will probably take it. But the way Yoshi's constantly floating, maneuvering around, really isn't giving Terry that opportunity to get something huge started. Approaching with down air here, racking up this percent, almost entire stock loop in percent right now. How can Satoran fight their way in on D-Danger? This is looking very rough and looking like a solid start for Albany if they're able to take a 2-stock lead off this first game.
Well, you can see already that we're trying to play underneath the platforms for the most part. Yoshi going to be trying to get the push back towards center stage. A nice down throw going into the up air. Not enough to confirm, though, but the second will land right on target. And that is going to be a 2-stock win for Albany.
Yeah, that's pretty big here. Satoran also a solidly large name on Cyber's side. Terry, a devastating character, all things considered. Having D-Danger's Yoshi just put out the Terry as soon as humanly possible here with a 2-stock advantage, especially in a crew battle of only 3v3. When you got 9 stocks total, every stock counts that much more. We're used to a lot of 4v4s and a lot of 5v5s, but now in this 3v3, that's 1 stock of the whole 9th of your team's collective resource. So having a 2-stock advantage, right? You're pulling up 8-6. And now, D-Danger seems to be such, a powerful opponent too. Someone that's such an unstoppable force that who can Cyber send in and try to minimize damage against a character and a playstyle like Yoshi and D-Danger.
And you see, that's really funny because I think it's more of a problem going up against D-Danger and trying to find a counter to the player rather than the character, because Yoshi themselves isn't very complex. It's not a character that you really have to break down. They're pretty balanced for the most part. They're not really overpowered in one way or the other, and they don't really have an underlying X factor. They're pretty straightforward, kind of like playing against a Mario. Very strong character, but at the same time, not very complex. So really, I don't think you have to go that far deep into the roster or to the characters to find a counter pick. I think it actually would be best to stick with a comfort pick right now. So if the next player coming from New York Tech Institute is going to try and go up against someone against this Yoshi, they should just go with the comfort pick. So because you really cannot go wrong. But the main problem is that you're going up against D-Danger, who has a particularly different playstyle when coming to this Yoshi. So that's where it's going to be kind of hard to counteract what D-Danger is going to be bringing to the next matchup.
I'll agree with on the comfort pick take. It's Yoshi's definitely one of those more like, okay, you kind of know what the character is going to do. If you're trying to juggle, you're going to get a nair out of your combos, right? You're going to see a lot of shield pressure with things like down air and down B. As long as you're aware of the tools that Yoshi has to offer, character matchups aren't going to be as important. Disjoints are always going to be great against these kind of mid-paced, mid-range, mid-tier characters, and having those disjoints is going to help a lot in neutral play. Having a fast projectile, or in general just having fast mobility, will be a lot when Yoshi's trying to air drift away and trying to catch up, or just trying to get a bunch of damage through the double jump armor, something like that. So generally, I would recommend speed or space here as like a very overarching thing. But I mean, honestly, anyone's good to go. Anyone can box up with Yoshi. Yoshi is just devastating no matter what. So gotta see what NYIT wants to pull out. We're just chilling here
And
in the
the
lobby. Oh, go ahead.
Another
Sorry.
thing I was gonna say another thing with Yoshi. As long as you avoid the headbutt, you should be okay. I mean, that's where you're gonna get a lot of the main damage. I mean, look at the noggin on that little dinosaur. Look at that big old round nose. As long as you can avoid that danger area, you should be pretty okay. But it looks like we're going to get a Kazuya pick. We thought we weren't gonna get it, but it looks like we might be having it here as Kazuya now coming out from New York Tech Institute.
I'm curious to see if it's the same player, if they actually have someone else. Okay, it is a different player, but is another Kazuya on the Cybears. DLT King instead of Percival. I do recall having seen multiple Kazuyas on the Cybears before, so this isn't totally out of left field. Let's see if DLT King can bring the pain with the Electric Wind God Fist, or if D-Danger is not worried at all, because so far, looks like it's not too much of an issue.
Yeah, right now, again, Yoshi going straight to work with the tail whip, being able to take Kazuya off stage. But remember, Kazuya pretty talented off stage. They can hold their own, but right now they're having difficulty holding themselves together here on the center stage.
Yeah, we got Rage Drive already active. Got the up B back to ledge. No sweet spot, none needed. Getting zoned out by Eggs right now. Commits to a forward smash. Doesn't get the tipper of it. I think just really greedy and fishing for a kill right now. Not necessarily the best strategy when you're behind 2 stocks, now 3. Let's see if DLT King can pull something out quick, because this is a lot of bleeding on the Cybear side right now. Okay, we got some up air tech chases on platform. Finally gets Electric Wind Godfist. There's the up B. Tries to land the kill. Ooh, wants to up smash to platform. We got Yoshi down B into forward smash. 69% on Kazuya. Can he fight his way in? It's looking pretty rough. D-Danger, not too worried.
Yeah, and right now, this is what we're seeing, what D-Danger really brings to this character, the Yoshi pick. And any other circumstance, you would not consider them much of a threat. I believe you had even said they're around the mid-tier kind of area when it comes to character selection. But the way D-Danger plays, they are so good at controlling the entire stage that they managed to find a way to get Kazuya back off the edge time and time again, and nearly was able to get him off stage a 3rd time here as they're going down low. Is able to get a touch, but can't get the down air.
Yeah, isn't quite able to land the kill. There's a great answer on the up smash to challenge the Twin Scissor from Kazuya. 181% on this Yoshi. If there's any character that can just take a stock on one random hit, it's going to be Kazuya. But can he actually do it? Wow, armors through the forward smash, but D-Danger's weird shifting hurt boxes on that tilt are just going to move right past. He's trying to go for the invincible sweep into left hook. That is going to take it. Oh, these jab resets! Carries him across the stage just a little bit and tries to get the 1-2-3 combo. Hopefully take the stock, but 217%, it's not enough. Oh my goodness, gets the back air into forward air. Finally, the down smash is going to take it to DLT Kings, and D-Danger is down to 1 stock. This is looking so dominant. It really seems like D-Danger is going to take out 2 entire players all by themselves.
I mean, it's definitely looking that way, especially when you can see right now DLT King currently at over 100 percentile in the danger, in the red. But what's interesting to me is that I never knew Yoshi was so beefy. It took Yoshi over 200% damage to finally get that 2nd stock off of them. I had no idea that Yoshi was a little heavy, but they're able to go up, get the up air, the up smash, and take the final stock off of Kazuya. That is now 2 wins back to back for D-Danger.
Yep, that is 6 stocks taken from D-Danger. Now, stock count between UAlbany and NYT is 7-3, with 1 stock remaining on D-Danger, who is an absolute terror, a monster, tearing through stocks one after the other. So, last player on Cyber's team, they're probably quaking in their boots. You know, this is rough. Even if it is 1 stock on D-Danger, that's looking kind of rough. And even if they are managed to get past D-Danger's 1 stock, let's say without any casualties on their end too, they walk with all 3 stocks. They have 2 entire fully healthy players to deal with. This is an uphill battle that is a struggle to climb.
I thought I saw Steve. I think Steve's coming to the fight. This is going to be interesting. I haven't. It's been a while, believe it or not. I haven't seen Steve in quite a minute. So if I did see a Steve, I'm going to be a little bit nervous for D-Danger, especially with only having 1 stock left.
There are still 6 stocks on UAlbany's end to attempt dealing with the Steve, but I think the Steve pick seems to be the way they're rolling right now. They're still going through character and stage selection on both ends, making sure everything's ironed out and whatnot. But I would not be surprised if the Steve was the commitment here. Although a lot of competitive viability for Steve is kind of winding down just because of a lot of local scenes and larger events are also kind of opting to to maybe not allow the character to be played in main bracket. That's a common occurrence. Not everywhere. It's taken its time, and everyone's got their own opinions, and local scenes decide for themselves, yada, yada, yada. So currently with Steve being in, especially for some of these like circuit focused events, who maybe started back in January and February when Steve bans weren't really super popular, it's kind of hard to step back mid-circuit and be like, oh, we're going to ban a character mid-circuit. So a lot of these circuit events do have Steve around. For example, over here in Texas, we had the Smash Championship League over in Denton. And they started, I believe, in January, if I'm not mistaken. And Steve was legal back then. Now, a lot of Texas has opted to try and get rid of Steve. And so I think SCO would have liked to get rid of Steve on time if they weren't a circuit that started back in January. And so I believe they just wrapped up sometime last week. And I believe the future ones will probably not have Steve in them whenever that does happen. But just as we're talking about circuits, we got ECAC right here, running for a couple months here for the spring semester. So again, makes sense why Steve's not out of the running just yet. But I'm sure it'll be a point of contention in the future.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a conversation. Like I said, I just got back from the Battle of the South, VG Boot Camp, Smashland over there in Valdosta, Georgia, and Steve was not there. I'm just going to say that. Steve did not show up. It didn't happen. But regardless, you know, we are going into this next matchup, and it looks like it is going to be a Captain Falcon, which, fun fact, happens to be my favorite character. If there's a character that I mean, it's going to be Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon number 1, Solid Snake number 2. No, I'm lying. Captain Falcon number 1, Young Link number 2, and then Solid Snake number 3.
I see. I'm liking these picks. Especially with the explosive Captain Falcon up here on top. We got Yarn Yoshi. I think this is either Yarn or Wooly, one of the two, up against Mr. Captain Falcon himself here. On FD, we got Omen stepping up to the ring, trying to deal with D-Danger's last stock. So again, this is more of a speed pick, where Falcon really just wants to find his confirms off the falling up air, first hit of Nair, or a Raptor boost if you can really try to win a solid neutral interaction. Right now, we're just kind of fishing for Nairs. There's the Raptor boost. It's going to get punished quite quickly, though. You have to watch out for the Yoshi Nair, whether you're mid-string or out of shield. That move is so fast. You're going to be punishing almost everything. Great parry on the late hit of Nair. Hard commits to reading with a forward smash. Tries to go off stage for a gimp. Oh, wow. Captain Falcon went so deep, too afraid of the Yoshi. He's going to lose his first stock. There is a solid knee, but it's not going to be enough.
That was actually really surprising to me because I consider a Captain Falcon's recovery to actually be pretty good when compared to other brawlers. So the fact that they actually went too deep and weren't able to get back to stage had me a little surprised, to be completely honest. But now we're going back center stage. Captain Falcon is going to be able to come through and get that last stock, finally putting D-Danger to bed.
Yep, that's the Nair 1 into knee. Fantastic, very clean. Got it nice and finished up right there. But I'm still lost a stock in the process from Omen. Right, so that's 2 stocks to 6 now. That means per 3 stocks of the opponent, you can only lose 1. And even if you go at that ratio, depending on when you lose that 1, you still might end up losing this first game here in the crew battle. Just the lead that D-Danger had brought in for University of Albany is absolutely ridiculous. They faced up against all 3 opposing players of the Cybears. That's how you know that D-Danger has made a name for themselves. And it's going to be a real big struggle for Omen to try and run it back from here. So let's see who else we got lined up here at U Albany, because we haven't even had to think about them for the longest time due to D-Danger making such a show. But let's see. We've got Katyusha and Razor, I believe, as the next 2 players. Not too familiar with characters. But I think, Falcon's, again, one of those characters that's fairly understood. And I think for this one, especially, space is going to be very nice to have. Disjoints or somewhere where you can slip out. Or if you're light and small and flying out a lot of these confirms and Falcon can't really touch you, can't scoop you off and get these combos, that'll also be kind of useful. So if we're going to see something like a Pikachu, that'll definitely do the trick. Or someone with, long-lasting disjoints that are annoying, a Swordy, Palutena, that kind of thing. Moves that are just hard to contest, hard to challenge. That'll also do quite well up against Falcon. But I'm just spitballing. Ideally, honestly, when it comes to Smash, most people are playing, I want to say 2-3 characters at most to cover matchups. And whatever they got, they'll be pretty comfortable with. So we'll see where things go.
Yeah, and another thing about these crew battles, especially in game number 1, is that with D Danger really taking the bulk of the load here, being able to take on 3 competitors, all 3 competitors from New York Tech Institute, is that now you can kind of see their hand. They're all going with these brawlers. They're all picking these fighter picks. So now you kind of have an idea of not only how you're going to finish up this match, but what you can expect for future matches as well. You can see what they are laying down on the table and what kind of picks they're comfortable with.
Yep. Gotta be looking at the future as well, because there's always going to be a game 2. There may even be a game 3. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, still waiting up here on UAlbany's next player. This will be a good one. I'm trying to see what Omen's last stand can bring us. Captain Falcon, as we said, explosive, fast, and dangerous. You're getting stomped. You're getting up tilted. You're getting near confirmed into knees. That's a lot harder to hit, admittedly. But awesome to see whenever we can. Who knows what will be coming our way. Always stylish, always flashy. I'm a big fan of the Raptor Boost combo starters, honestly. I know it's kind of simple, but something that's very satisfying about the kind of soft uppercut that has so much punch behind it, but only sends them not that far. You get your nair follows, and suddenly you've got this huge advantage that you're pushing with a bunch of stage control, and now you're trying to see if you can juggle them, catch them with up airs, or if you're like something like Town and City or like Northern Cave, where you got the platforms to carry on to. You've got so many more extensions to work with. It's so much fun to watch. I'm basic, but that is how it is.
Well, I got to tell you, one thing that I really hope that we get to see is a little bit more of the sorties. We had a great weekend all around, and, a lot throughout the season here for ECAC Esports is that we got to see a lot of the evolution of the sorties come through and big picks along the way. So I'm really thinking a nice sword pick here will actually be a great counter to Captain Falcon. Again, something like maybe a Roy. I think Roy definitely going to be able to catch Captain Falcon in that speed. Roy is also a very speedy swordster, one of the fastest, and they can really go toe-to-toe. And the thing about Roy is that they don't really have a necessity to lay on the big combos. They just need to find an opening and deal massive damage, whereas Captain Falcon, on the other hand, they're kind of in the mid. They can deal out massive damage as well, but they also have a couple of combos in their arsenal. So again, there's so many avenues that you could take to really counterpick this Captain Falcon, but look at this. It seems as though University of at Albany are going to be bringing out their Greninja, and I love it.
Okay, we're going to be seeing one of our favorite water-type Pokemon starters here. Coming in from the 6th generation, Razor steps up to the plate with the Greninja. So this is kind of one of those characters that, in a way, you can also consider to be not that dissimilar at Falcon if you look at purely from a game plan standpoint, which is run in, try to land these kind of hard-to-hit combo starters, and then try to confirm my hard-to-hit combos because they're so DI and read dependent. So you can see them up close, just like boxing, trying to throw out their combo stars, whether it be the Greninja Nair or fishing for down tilts. Same thing for Captain Falcon, Nair especially, or falling up air. They're just going to be weaving in and out over each other. Super even on percent right now. I'm excited to see where this match goes.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what, Greninja, I think they have a slight advantage on the offstage presence. So I think if Greninja is going to be able to really get this Captain Falcon pick offstage, they're going to be able to ride that to a couple of stocks. But right now, you can see the control coming out from Omen doing so well by keeping platform and forcing the Greninja offstage several times. Finally, you can see the reversal now going underway as it looks as though Razor is finally able to find their footing and start dealing significant damage onto Omen.
There's the Falcon kick. Yeah, one thing that's going to change a lot of dynamics of this matchup is Greninja's access to Water Shuriken. A big thing about Captain Falcon is that he simply doesn't have a projectile and really just has to run around and try to challenge your way in. And most of the time, these projectiles are going to be used by these like slower users, or projectiles won't be necessarily too obnoxious or start combos or anything like that. And Greninja's not necessarily a combo starter. Nice downer to take the stock there, by the way. But the poke from that projectile and how speedy it is can pose to be a problem, especially for neutral, because that percent will rack up over time. Just Greninja trying to fish for something off stage. They're both going for ledge. Finally gets a down smash. Very opposite side of stage, though, to actually land the kill. Great fade back forward air. Finally takes the stock, and now it's one stock left on Omen for 2 stocks here on Razor. Razor looking to clean up this crew battle. First game right here, right now. Ooh, there's the stomp. Nice upbeat to get the stage, though. The Nair to try to get the combo started. Maybe went for an air dodge read instead. Ooh, whiffed Falcon dive. Only gets an up tilt punish. No follow-up. We're returning to stage advantage here for Omen.
Yep, and now there goes the up B. It does connect, and you can see Greninja going off stage here, but the recovery is there for Razor. They have got to get off of this edge. Meanwhile, they find themselves once again back center stage as Omen trying to get the up and over Razor. Does manage to land a huge Falcon kick, sending them off stage, but the rebuttal and the recovery is there once again for Razor.
Yeah, I love the attempt that Omen had to try and get the up tilt spike, challenging the side B shadow sneak from Greninja. The timing actually was really tight there. Just a little bit too early, but I want to see if that interaction can actually play out in Falcon's favor. Only if Omen can live long enough here in this game, because we're both now approaching kill percent. Rather, both are definitely in kill percent, especially on Razor's side. And even if Razor does lose this one stock, he has an entire other stock to play with. But there's a fade back forwarder, not enough to take it. Great DI and instant air dodge from Captain Falcon. Omen to here's the offstage gameplay. Omen waiting so perfectly. Use the up B to try and recover. We're seeing Hydro Pumps from Razor to maybe clip him off, send him flying. Oh, catch him the landing with an up smash though. Perfect tipper, gets both hits of it. And Razor is gonna walk away with the first game in New Albany's favor.
Well, there you have it. 3 up and 3 down. The Brawler combo, the Brawler composition really not paying its dividends there for New York Tech. Meanwhile, University at Albany were able to seal a deal in just 2 and still have their third and haven't really got them, I don't want to say they didn't need them, but they just didn't show up to play. It was settled in 2 with Yoshi and Greninja, so hopefully in the next match we'll be able to see all 3 players at University of Albany get a chance to show their stuff on stream.
Yeah, we'll be seeing what adaptations that we'll be going into for game 2. We're gonna be sending in new leads, potentially new players if people want to sub out from first game to second game, because that is allowed. New character choices if they happen to feel more comfortable with something else, moving to the second game, etc., etc. So on one hand, you can think, one team's gonna go, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Other team goes, I was confident in the composition. We get the exact same game more or less with matchups. That's possible. On the other hand, you can get completely different games, new leads, new players, new characters. All of that can all change up in the blink of an eye. So it's so open-ended. We aren't really sure what to expect, but I'm super excited to see where things go, especially from NYIT. I want to see what the Cybears can do to change things up, because D-Danger proved to be a very significant problem, and Omen was only able to put down D-Danger so late into the game. So it's like, are they going to expect a D-Danger opening, or are we trying to see if Omen can challenge and take more stocks early on? Or are they just going to have to run it back with Satorn and DLT King and just hope the Fighting Game brothers got some ace up the sleeve that they can change up the dynamic against Yoshi? Because the big thing about Yoshi is that he was only getting clipped by stray hits in the air because he was staying so mobile in the air constantly. And because D-Danger was always so airborne, it was very hard for a lot of these characters to get something huge started, especially their combos. At best, Terry could have approached with a Nair into Burn Knuckle in the air or something like that. Maybe throw out a couple aerials. Kazuya doesn't even have any significant air starter combos unless he can just happen to answer with an electric or something like that. It's just so much harder to play when Yoshi's being so slippery, and just staying alive in these stray hits only will add up, but the fighting game characters are way more built on their combo potential. And if you're not on the ground, they're not getting any of these combos. So I think Falcon is definitely the better pick, at least to open up against the Yoshi, but that is if they think that U of Albany is going to open with Yoshi at all. Because I've seen other teams that kind of send their ace in first and tear through so many stocks, and then later on have someone in the back who didn't even get to play at the end of the first game, finally have that player open up here instead. Because that's a complete mix-up. We don't know much about them, no information currently on hand for us, although I'm sure the team has been hard at work studying their opponents, so I'm sure they're more aware of it. But if they want to warm up, Yasha just a bit, get him in the field, that might be the chance. Open them up in the game too.
I mean, might as well, just so that way they can get some playing time in. I mean, especially going into game 2, who knows? They can go on an absolute tear like D-Danger did, going through 2 back-to-back players. But again, just to be able to see what they can bring to the table and how they can really complete this roster, it would answer a lot of questions for me, particularly. But with that being said, honestly, and again, this might be a hot take, and if I'm capping, say captain's capping, but I really think had Omen actually not gone down a stock against D-Danger, I think they very well could have taken Razor's Greninja. The way that they were playing was actually decent, and they managed to actually go toe-to-toe with the Greninja. And honestly, I think they did have a little bit of an upper hand there towards the end, but Greninja had that extra stock to their advantage, and I think that really contributed to their win.
Yep, I definitely see it. I definitely see the possibility there. But the thing is, then, if you want to save Omen and try and deal with Razor, who is dealing with D-Danger? Right? That becomes a much bigger problem. So it's like, someone's got to take a hit taking down D-Danger. absolutely just such a threat. And in that process, it's with the sacrifice of your entire self, or most of yourself anyway, how much are you getting out of it, right? If Omen's only taking one stock off D-Danger, that's not very different from Torin or DLT King. But if Omen can take down D-Danger, right, just on a one-on-one walk-away with one stock, that's a complete different shift in momentum. So I'd really like to see the Omen D-Danger match fully played out from 3 stocks apiece as kind of settle the fate of their 2 teams early on, because that early momentum means so much.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I'm wondering also if we're going to see some different character picks going into game 2, because again, you know, all of the character selections coming from New York Tech, again, we're all brawlers, all fighters, and you know, not a lot of offstage presence either. With exception for Kazuya, because of course they have demon wings. You know, their offstage presence is actually kind of good. But with all that being said, you know, I'm wondering if we're going to see a little diversity here. Maybe come back out with a heavy, maybe even a speedster, a sortie, a blaster, anything. And not to saying that, you know, the fighter composition isn't a good one. I'm sure it is fantastic, especially when you're sticking with your comfort picks. But clearly from game number 1, something wasn't clicking there. So I'm wondering what they have in their back pocket to really bring to the table in order to try and get a better outing in game 2.
Yeah. All questions we can hope to see answered soon, as the teams are discussing their leads and early character picks. We'll be getting into it
also,
very soon.
I haven't seen any zoners yet either. Like I'm so surprised, because normally every single crew battle I see have at least one zoner, at least one. So I'm kind of interested that we haven't seen any yet. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, that last player from Albany is that one zoner. Could be.
We shall see. We're just waiting it out. Sometimes it's gonna happen here with these Smash arenas. Sorry about that, folks. Just a bit of downtime here. Team communication takes a while. The responsiveness of arena takes a while. All that stuff. It's a whole process. All the hoops and you know, hurdles we have to jump through and over just to get competitive Smash to kind of work. It's a lot. Whether you're offline or online, but there's a lot more hassle involved.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You have said this weekend y'all had some great battles going on. I think you mentioned some events going on over there in Texas. Why don't you give us a little insight on how that went throughout the weekend and what you can expect to see? You know, not necessarily to compare the events in Texas to here, but you know, like what was the experience compared to something like Collegiate Online?
Yeah. So I think a more apt comparison then would be, instead of this past weekend, which is just more of your traditional local, right? You know, you got a bunch of people sign up, double elimination, you know, single players, all that. I can talk a little bit more about the Smash Championship League we had over in Texas, which is also a crew battle format. It was a 4v4 best of 1 format. And within that, it was people were free to choose their teams however they want, not completely unrelated to Collegiate. But it was also a circuit system and a point scoring system instead of like a record based, I believe. And part of those points actually came from separate single brackets they also ran alongside it. So it felt like a really cool celebration of like everyone's techniques and tactics across both as individual players and team players in the crew battle format, and just letting people free choose teams. It's like, okay, you got friends grouped up, you got some of the best players in the state grouped up. Texas is a hyper competitive region, especially up here in DFW, because Texas is so massive. There's so many scenes that fall under it. There's Rio Grande Valley, Austin, San Antonio, Houston. There's Northwest Texas, El Paso. It's just insane. And then DFW itself is also such a massive area that you got like a bunch of cities that fall under it. Right, all of Dallas has like, I don't know, I want to say like 3 or 4 locals. Then you got like stuff in Fort Worth. You got stuff up in Denton. Arlington's got its own scene. We even have like 2 or a couple like really awesome collegiate teams up here. I know UNT is a bit farther up northwest and is considered to be more part of like that scene. But we have UT Arlington and UT Dallas up here kind of falling under the DFW umbrella. And these 2 are some of the best Smash teams we've seen in collegiate ever, honestly, across a lot of national leagues. Both these teams have performed admirably well. And that just goes to show the strength of the scene we have over here in Texas. And they're no strangers to crew battles. But I think we are going to be hopping into our first game here, unless this is just a button check. And we're going to be seeing DLT King up against Razor. DLT King this time not opting for the Kazuya, but going for a Little Mac here on Town and City. Razor sticking to the Greninja. So we got different openers than last time. And this is a good opportunity for the Cybers to start building momentum, because, wow, just 2 forward smashes, I think, from Little Mac in a couple of straight hits, and we're at 60% on this Greninja already.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I'm not entirely mad at this this pick. Again, like we mentioned earlier, Little Mac, the speediest brawler that is in Smash. The way that they can really go toe-to-toe with this Greninja in terms of speed, I actually think is going to give them a competitive edge here because, like you said, all it's going to take is 1 or 2 solid hits, and already the KO is activated. So one good opening, and that's going to be the first stock off of Razor. But Razor making it a little difficult right now for DLT King.
Yeah, great space and great awareness from Razor, keeping their distance, throwing out just a couple moves when you can. Ooh, what an interesting neutral B. And KO Punch is now back offline, maybe about a third charge. A little over. Looking for some potential to take a stock here. So yeah, Little Mac's grounded speed is fantastic for a melee character. A big part of Smash and platform fighters as a whole is the air game, and Little Mac's air speed is, well, in general, air game is fairly lacking, and that becomes kind of the risk-reward balance that Little Mac has to offer. But wow, great armor on that forward smash to take out this first stock. Razor not too far behind here. Just needs a couple of solid hits, especially offstage. Great downward angled forward tilt right there. We're dead even. 2 stocks apiece. Right back on the ground. Gotta use those projectiles to zone out. You just gotta get those dash attacks or falling nairs to start hitting a little bit. But man, you cannot ever underestimate the Little Mac damage.
Oh, absolutely not. And, you know, we were even, you know, kind of discussing their viability necessarily in a 1v1 setting as opposed to a, you know, a 2v2 scenario or even a 3v3. And honestly, I think Lil Mac in the 1v1 still holds up fairly well, all things considered, especially when they can optimize that KO punch, and especially when you're on a map like Town and City, because it really takes away the platforms, you know, the way that the maps change. Ooh. And if we could see Little Mac actually take advantage of having that no platform flat stage, I think they're going to be able to actually even things up here. But right now, again, Razor just being able to pile on the damage, especially taking Lil Mac off stage to get that second stock off of DLT King.
Yeah, one more solid play here from Razor could actually be the end of it for DLT King. That's always the scary game you're playing with Little Mac, is just one good enough read off stage or just easy gimp, and Little Mac is absolutely dead. And right now we're almost even on percent, but again, Little Mac always does have that insane kill factor, whether it's going to be the anti or up B or just random smash attacks left and right, trying to use some of that armor on startup too to get past a lot of options to challenge it. Dash attack back here, KO punch is online. Little Mac saving double jump. There is the up B, no Trump ledge guard. Another dash attack back here. He's going to fall out of it, but he air dodges back to the top left platform of Town and City, and there's going to be a forward tilt from Razor to close it out. Only a 1-stock lead this time, but super well played to both players. Razor chilling at 0% actually. JV2. That's a lot better here for New York Tech Institute though, for the Psy Bears compared to the early dominance that D-Danger had established. But now DLT King's out of the way. Only 1 stock left on Razor. Is this where you send in Omen? Or is this where you send in Satoran? I think this is super important because you have to not only think about taking out this 1 stock of Greninja without losing any of your own, by the way, ideally. But on top of that, you have to think of the, oh, shoot. Is D-Danger next? Can I deal with D-Danger? We saw Satoran struggle a lot with D-Danger last time. Omen didn't get too much of a chance, only had 1 stock to deal with. I don't know. The possibilities are open-ended right now, but definitely thinking forward is the way to go right now. This 1 stock should be seen as fairly inconsequential. You play well, you'll get it. It's about what's coming next. You can't pick a character that's too easily countered or pick a player matchup that's too easily solved from the opposing side, because, again, they've got the advantage here. They're going to have stage pick. They're going to have character and player counter pick. You have to be careful. So my heart immediately says, well, Omen seems to be more well-rounded in this situation. Why not send him in? But we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to. Because even as we said, at the end of last game, right, end of game 1, Omen and Razor were keeping it pretty dead even. So on one hand, there is a possibility for Razor to try to create an opening and take 1 stock of Omen before Razor goes down. And then that's where D-Danger can really start cleaning up, and maybe Satoran won't have enough staying power to take care of the rest. But on the other hand, it could just be Omen wipes out Razor real quick and then puts on a good show up against D-Danger, and then Satoran's the one that has to be playing cleanup crew up against the last 2 players. Who knows? Who knows? So many possibilities to play out.
And you know what? I really want to shed a little light again on the match that we just seen. Again, a fantastic turnaround from New York Tech Institute. Is again, you know, they were just able to do so much better there in the first round, going up against Razor, and also just a huge kudos, you know, and a point of acknowledgement to DLT King for taking that character swap. You know, they tried getting things done on the Kazuya. It wasn't right. It didn't feel right. It didn't match up well. So they were able to actually go back and pick a Little Mac, which is somewhat of a pick that, you know, maybe going up against a Greninja isn't necessarily the favorite, but they still performed extraordinarily well. And because of that character swap, they were able to do so much better. So again, being able to really adapt and react on your feet like that definitely is a positive attribute going towards DLT King, and you know, sometimes not sticking with that comfort pick.
Yeah, but now we're going to see a bit of a shakeup here coming in from the Cybears, sending in Chi-Squared, a new player, someone that we didn't see last game, coming here on the Lucas. We're going over to Hollow Bastion, single platform here in the center, pretty wide, but can still be used for tech chasing. Not the most covered option every time, but more than playable. So now this is Lucas trying to, you know, small body, zone out with a lot of projectiles and disjoints. Oh, what a hard read on that back air into up smash. He's fishing for something big. Chi-Squared is going to have that PK Thunder 2 to make it back to stage, but it is always scary against so many characters who could absorb, reflect, or even just get hit intentionally to not let Lucas back to stage. We're looking pretty dead even here. Nice Hydro Pump on the air dodge, but Lucas is going to make it back. We can't forget this Snake Zaire, named after pressing the Z button, the aerial grab on a GameCube controller. It's also a very useful move here from Lucas to create space, poke out moves, and just mess people up close.
Now, see, I think this is actually a really great pick coming from New York Tech. Again, Chi-Squared coming in off the bench, at least from game number 1 to play here in game number 2. And this Lucas pick is going to be a decent counter pick to this Greninja because, again, we see a lot of that off-stage presence coming from Greninja, trying to take them all the way to the Blast Zone. But Lucas has such great recovery that they're not allowing that much space to really push them all the way off edge.
Nope. Lucas still got all 3 stocks on deck. This is where Razor is hungry to take 1 stock, have some sort of lead and legacy to carry on forward for Albany. But this is where Chi-Squared puts their foot down and is like, nope. I need to take care of this right now. This Greninja's going down, choking out this frog, ending this stock right away. We're going to see a back throw and up throw, and it's going to be the up throw to close out the stock kill throw. They're both pretty high percent, 130, 140. Relatively not super light on Greninja's side, but there's a good amount of rage here on Lucas's side, and that is going to clean up the stock. And now, for the first time past the first game, the Cybears and Albany are even. 6 stocks apiece here. Lucas on the Chi-Squared, or Chi-Squared on the Lucas.
A fantastic showing coming out from New York Tech. And again, Chi-Squared played that one perfectly, especially going up against that Greninja, because we saw at least on 2 separate occasions, if not more, where Greninja constantly tried to take the fight off stage, as they should. Greninjas are fantastic off stage, especially when you're trying to go to the horizontal blast zone and, you know, take stocks that way. But Lucas's recovery, especially coming from Chi-Squared, was just so phenomenal that they were able to drop things a little bit too low for the Greninja to chase, and then recover back up to center stage, back up to platform, and really take advantage. And like you said, again, trying to utilize those grapples, not necessarily landing them, but at the same time creating that space, making that threat, forcing the Greninja to back off from the aggression. And I think that was some textbook examples of how to effectively play Zoner, and Chi-Squared delivered.
Yep, that is right. Looks like we're gonna have D-Danger coming in next to deal up against Chi-Squared. Not too surprised. Seems like if you're even, you want to try to rein in the game, you're gonna have D-Danger pull up and try to wreak some havoc. I think a small battlefield is gonna be the stage.
And you know what? I'm still waiting to see the third from University at Albany. I'm wondering, like, wait, are they going to play today, or are they just going to put their feet up and, you know, take it easy? Like, what's going on here? Don't get me wrong. I like D-Danger. I love the Yoshi. Again, I was sporting Yoshi all weekend long at the Smash Lane in Valdosta for VG Bootcamp. But, like, at the same time, I want to see who this third is coming from Albany. I'm so curious of what they're bringing to the table, but right now, D-Danger already starting things off very quickly here between D-Danger and Chi-Squared.
Yeah, that's an early amount of burst damage coming out on 47%. Finds a win with the Zaire down tilt jab combo. Okay, nice pivoting momentum with the PK Fire. Okay, air stall too with the PSI Magnet. Not getting scooped up by the up tilt either. Back throw. Wow, this is so fast-paced yet dead even. Blow for blow, trade for trade. We got eggs, we got PK fires, we got reflectors, magnets, absorbs, more eggs. It's so much.
Yep, well, here we go, back off stage again, and it looks as though that the recovery from Yoshi just absolutely fantastic. Because once again, they take the fight center stage, which is where I do believe Yoshi will have more of an advantage here. But right now, it is the up smash that lands, but not enough to confirm the elimination. And once again, Lucas comes through with the recovery.
Now, Lucas tried to rise with that downer, third of hit of which I do believe spikes, but Yoshi challenged it with an egg that was so smartly and intelligently placed. These egg snipes off stage could also be super devastating. Wow, Yoshi went deep for that lasting hit there and actually slowly picks up the kill so deep into the blast zone, is able to recover with a reverse double jump and reverse up B. That's the power of Yoshi. He can afford to go deep off stage sometimes, and both Ness and Lucas can sometimes have worrisome recoveries that are easy to deal with in certain circumstances or with certain characters. But we're finally going to have Chi-Squared pick up the kill here on D-Danger, and we're still looking to be about even. Only a 30% deficit, nothing too bad, nothing that Chi-Squared can't recover, as long as they find a way in. We got Zare approaches, gets a down throw, forward air follow-up, but we're going to have Yoshi armor their way out. Built a bit of a lead for a second. Ooh, nice forward air to bring the spike, but Lucas has got quite the double jump to make it back, but another forward air spike with more percent means that Chi-Squared is straight down to the blast.
And you know, it's so crazy with the way that D-Danger plays with this Yoshi, because you really don't think of Yoshi of having a lot of offstage presence. And the way D-Danger plays is that they are so brave to go so deep and still be able to recover with their up B. Granted that Yoshi doesn't even have something like a double jump or even like a float mechanic. They literally have that one recovery move, and that is it. But the way D-Danger times it so perfectly, they're able to go deep all the way down stage and still find themselves not only the stock, but the recovery on top.
Yep. Just to note, though, Yoshi does have a unique double jump that actually is super high and also gives him armor. And then on top of that, has a bit of aerial momentum shifts with the up B, which is the egg throw. So it can seem a little risky off stage, but there's still a good amount of recovery options that Yoshi has. You can't totally count him out off stage. Look at all this damage presence right now. Almost looked at a perfect kill setup right there if the down B landed right when the egg broke. Ooh, we're getting a bit of Nintendo Online lag. I don't think either of these players are having it. But we got some taunts, trying to check it out. It looks like it's good to go. We're back to neutral. Spacing out Zares, throwing out eggs. Lucas is trying to find a way. It needs to take this one stock, or it is all absolutely over. I'm loving these PK freeze drifts, but it's not enough. And Danger's going to land the up smash, taking out Chi-Squared from a 3-stock to a 2-stock lead for D-Danger. 5 stocks to 3. Now we only got one player left on the Psy Bears to have to deal again with 2 of D-Danger stocks, and then whoever is at the end, the mystery player, the final box that's yet to be opened here at Christmas Day. We just don't know who's there. We really don't.
Yeah, and like you said, with D-Danger having 2 stocks left, it's still going to be a tough challenge for whoever comes out. I'm wondering if it's going to be Omen again to be the anchor coming out from New York Tech Institute. If it is, if they're going to stick with the Captain Falcon pick, because we have already seen how this matchup goes. Granted that they were able to get the last stock off of D-Danger, but it wasn't without a price. They did have to pay at least 1 stock in order to take 1 stock. So if it is going to be Omen, I'm wondering if they're just going to stick with the Captain Falcon pick, or if they're going to try something else.
Yeah, we do have Satoran on deck with the Terry as well, but we did see how much Terry struggled up against Yoshi. This 2-stock might be a little rough for Satoran to take on the Terry if they've got other characters lined up, or if they want to kind of approach this from a different angle, and knowing that Yoshi's not going to be sticking on the ground too much, not going for too many grounded setups and try to mash the aerial game, despite the slipperiness, despite the drift. That knowledge alone, that awareness could end up changing something. We're just going to have to wait and see and find out whatever is going to come our way. I think Omen is a fairly solid pick here going into D-Danger. They played before. Omen was able to close out D-Danger's final stock last time around. But this time we got 2 stocks on D-Danger. More opportunity for him to put Omen in danger. No pun intended. This could be an interesting watch. I've always been wanting the D-Danger at 3 stocks up against Omen at 3 stocks to really see who's going to come out on top. But now we're going to have kind of the slight underdog D-Danger with only 2 stocks up against the potential all 3 stocks of Omen. Who knows? It is very up in the air. But it looks like Satoran is going to be the one stepping up to the plate. Stage selection is yet to be confirmed. But if we're going to have Satoran back, is it going to still be the Terry?
That is definitely a question here, because, again, we saw that matchup. D-Danger with the Yoshi versus the Terry. definitely went the way of Yoshi in that regard again, and it was pretty one-sided to say the least. So I would imagine that they would try and go with something else, but at the end of the day, especially in Smash, I do think that comfort picks reign supreme overall. I mean, it's just so difficult, especially if they are going to stick with that Terry pick. I just don't see it going their way. D-Danger has been absolutely on fire with this Yoshi pick, and they haven't been changing. They've been sticking with their pick, and it has just been paying off for University at Albany.
Yep. Looks like the stage pick is going to be Kalos. Fairly flat, but you do have your 2 edge platforms. I guess this is instead of Northern Cave, which is a similarly-ish styled stage. Both are legal in different rule sets. It's a whole different discussion about stage lists. But we got Kalos going to be up next here. Terry is definitely going to appreciate the groundedness, but I think there's going to be a lot of problems with Yoshi being able to... it's not a perfect circle camp, but you can kind of emulate it fairly well with the 2 platforms that Kalos has to provide, and Yoshi's very extended double jump and air just with the up B, considering the armor as well. I can see a lot of hit and run yet again. It's too much slipperiness for Terry to really keep up and catch up. Maybe you could start just going for, Buster Wolf or Power Geyser, but it's gotta be rough on field. This matchup is, I'm not the most confident here, but yeah, we're gonna have Satoran up against D-Danger going to Kalos Pokemon League.
Well, let's see if Satoran is going to have a better time out here in their second matchup against D-Danger. Of course, D-Danger going to be giving away that first stock, making things all nice and even here as we get ready to get this matchup underway. And already you can see the fight going down here at center stage.
Yeah, we got our we got our up tilts, rather, I believe, into those up airs. Just trying to get something started. All right, we got a nice power dunk combo, 42%. Keep it even. The Nair out of shield. You can't be hitting Yoshi's shield. That egg might look like it's about to break, but he's going to be popping out with the Nair. Oh my goodness, the air drift on the eat up for the egg poop outs, I guess. I don't know what the exact word is there. The way that he just avoided the forward smash on getting eaten with that momentum is absolutely ridiculous. Goat is already available. 118.8%. Again, it's going to get grabbed. Down throw up air, not going to be enough to take it. 142%. Oh, it's looking so scary. There's the up tilt. Nice parry on the first hit of back air. You got to watch it. There's 3 hits. They're not just back to stage. How is Terry? Terry still, again, fishing for those down tilts. Those are grounded options. This Yoshi has always been in the air. Great forward air spike. Satoran's going to go down.
Yep, that they are. Not with a lot of love lost either. They're finally at the 80% damage mark. Meanwhile, you can see Terry trying to work their way back, but they force themselves off stage and now find themselves at the mercy once again of this Yoshi pick. But finally, the rebuttal and the recovery going underway, and now Satoran has an opportunity and elimination potential to take this stock off of D-Danger.
Ooh, that downer could have been a crazy nasty setup on the top left platform of Kalos here, but we don't even need it. We just need up air chains, close out with a Nair. Already 63%. We were getting close to evening the house across stocks. And remember, D-Danger started with 1 entire less stock, and Satoran has an entire other player to go through if they could even make it out of this one. This is looking super rough. Getting the later hits of the down B. There's the power dunk. Other side of stage, though, it's not going to be enough.
Yep, and here we are back to center stage again. Both players now in elimination potential, but it will be the forward smash coming from Satoran to take the second stock off of D-Danger, and now only 1 stock remaining. And right now, Satoran on this Terry pick still very much in the danger here, 94%. And now there goes the up air, and it will be enough to bring this back to 1 stock apiece.
Yep, Burn Knuckle taking a stock from Terry's end, and we're going to have the up smash on Yoshi's end. Stock for stock here, pretty much dead even. This is exactly where D-Danger and Albany want to be. If they can even close it out right here, that would be absolutely massive. But man, looks like Satoran's finally putting the work, and Yoshi's a little bit on the back foot here. 89%, no fear from D-Danger, because they know that Yoshi's damage potential is ridiculous with things like down air, down B, and the egg to help stack up. And we're still looking pretty even. Again, the raw Burn Knuckle across the stage, clipping the Yoshi. Big damage. Go is activated after that forward air. Nice grab forward throw. What's the offstage option going to be? Again, Burn Knuckle, but the up B is not going to be enough to make it, and Satoran's going to fall to their doom on Kalos Pokemon League. And D-Danger is going to walk away with the victory for UAlbany. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap it up for UAlbany. They're going to walk away 2-0 over the Cybears. What a great, great showing from UAlbany, especially that Yoshi D-Danger putting in huge work. So many stocks taken across both games. They genuinely did not have to use their third player. It just wasn't in the cards, wasn't on the table. And not too much of an issue, it seems like. No worries for them. UAlbany is pretty comfortable with it. Cybears going to have to take a crushing loss right here in the first round of playoffs, and they're going to be out of the tournament. So unfortunate that Percival wasn't here today with his Kazuya to maybe make some waves and show something up against D-Danger. Just wasn't in the cards, and unfortunately, the Cybears are going to have to walk away here. But congratulations to UAlbany.
Yeah, and again, you know, the anchor over there from the University at Albany was doing absolutely, I mean, I don't want to say nothing, but at the same time, they had a pretty easy day. You know, another easy day at the office for the anchor coming from the University at Albany. And, you know, it's kind of a shame because I wanted to see what they were going to bring to the table. But right now, you know, it was just the combination of the Greninja and the Yoshi that were just laying down the work there in the front lines, being able to just get stock after stock. And at the end of the day, it was D-Danger on the Yoshi that came in huge for UAlbany, as they are going to be able to take this win in a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, great stuff to UAlbany. From now on, I think we're going to try and get our eyes on a potential interview, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll try and be back with a player here from UAlbany side and to give us some of their insight and thoughts. So we're going to throw ourselves over to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.
Finds a triple. Oh my goodness, Death Trap finds a fourth. He's gonna find the team kill. It's
Now the Rams would force map number 3, but the Aggies were too strong for the rest of the contest, and the Utah State Aggies get the sweep 3-0. To Summoner's Rift in League, where the Aztecs of San Diego State take on the Spartans of San Jose State. Game 1 and all the advantages to the Aztecs 30 minutes in, and Devour on the Caitlyn makes sure it stays that way to march to the base.
Half health. Actually, with the Chaos Storm dropped as well, that might be the go button as everyone follows the rock, and it's not going to be enough off the outset. Tom Goku shut down in the back line, and it's all falling apart for this fight that San Jose chose to take. The ADCs are all together. Piao picked up a kill on the backside. Tabula Rasa's surviving forever. Eventually,
the Aztecs would go on to win game number 1, but something clicks in the Spartans, and San Jose would win the series 2-1. To Valorant, with Andromeda taking on the University of Houston Scarlet team. Map number 2 on Fracture, and Andromeda wants to push A site, but Binko is sitting around the corner, and even with little to no utility, Binko just finds a way to make heads roll.
1-for-1 trade, make it 1-for-2 as Slorth takes down Altier, trying to trade for Orchid. Binko now trapped in a corner. They're shooting out the Prowlers, and there's not a lot of places that Binko can go, but now only Slorth being the one peeking. Oh, Binko! What was that?
Binko calls bingo on the ace, and it would be Houston who calls game on Fracture as they win the series 2-0.
To come through, it's just playing aimbot.
And that's it from Top Plays of the Week from Esports U. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, this is Clutch Key signing off.
I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. There's one for each game, so teams this weekend, somebody's going to have to explain to TSA why they're coming home with an extra trophy. Fine. We're fine. This is going to be great. Why is everybody staring at me? I'm not even doing anything yet. Is it because I'm in a suit? It looks nice. It's new. I'm stressing. It's all right. We win these. We absolutely win these. I've never seen us lose these. I love him. I don't remember his name. What is going on, everybody? And oh, are we ready? I'll start over. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. The players are just now entering the arena for day 1. A lot of them had the opportunity to be here yesterday to get jerseys, to get familiar with the area, and to get to know one another. But today, the friendly gloves have to come off, and they are all here. Earlier, I was talking to these guys. This mannequin, when they didn't have anything else set up, I could see it from all the way down there, and I thought it was a person. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, why is he standing like that? And I thought it was like a smooth criminal. I thought somebody was giving us like a Michael Jackson impression, and then it was a mannequin. I was really embarrassed to admit that. Oh my God, that's a lot of of people. Hold on, let's go over this window. Let's go over this window. It just keeps going. There's so many people outside. There are so many people outside. We're gonna interview people when they come in. I don't really want to go outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, and this suit is new. So, oh, there's Doc Haskell. Hi, Doc. How are you? He brings a full notebook with him and like writes notes down. It was pretty insane. He had it yesterday. He's gonna be coming through this metal detector right here. I don't know his name though, but I recognize his hair.
Jen.
You're Jen. All right, we're gonna interview Jen, who's supporting Kennesaw. I'm gonna ask you like a couple of very simple questions. Okay. Are we ready? All right, great. College. I really like Georgia College's color scheme. It's just red, white, and blue, I think, but I think they did it in a really clever way. Mineral area wearing hoodies, even though it is 75 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolute legends.
If only Nick could hear you. Nick, come back.
If he's over 100 feet away, he can't.
You were whispering something, and he started smiling. I'm like, are you whispering?
Oh yeah, because he's got his headphone in if we're close enough. But
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit again. You're welcome. I'm gonna go find him. Oh, there he is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Real stuff is starting. Real stuff. Competitive integrity needs to be upheld. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I get really embarrassed when I get yelled at.
30 is
Okay. Wow, it's not 10:30 yet.
It's only barely 10.
Woo! All right, it's gonna be a long. Hey, what's up? Surprise interview. Join me over here this week. We have a cool backdrop. What are we here for?
Rocket League.
Awesome. I'm not going to ask what school you go to because unless you swapped hoodies, that seems pretty clear.
Nope. You know, I got my jersey on with my name on it.
Oh, you do? Show us your jersey. Look at John T. Turbo here.
Yeah,
That's not his name. I just keep calling him that.
Yeah.
His name is John, but
my name is John Turbesi.
Yeah,
That's
not John T. Turbo.
Yeah, I get the message that I'm going to Nebraska where I met you.
Oh, that's so crazy. So context, if we're probably not going to use this, but I want to talk about it. Turbo and I met at a LAN like over a year ago. That's so great. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. I am Sebdolence, joined by a man I have interviewed probably well over 10 times. It's going to be my good friend Neb, here from Bay State Overwatch team. Neb looked at me before he started his last series, and he said, "We are not dropping a map for the rest of the day." And so far, he has lived up to that title. But Neb, is there anybody you're thinking, we've got to get them out of the way, we've got to take them down?
No.
No? Just looking at it, each fight's its own, every game? Going into it, just taking it as it comes?
I have the confidence right now that we're not going to drop a single map.
I love Neb because not only is he confident, but he's correct. Bay State is one of the best Overwatch teams I've ever seen. So it's always good to hear. I love the confidence, and I love Bay State, so I hope they do a great job this weekend. So what qualifier, did you win a qualifier to get here?
At-large bid.
We're looking at Rocket League, we're thinking high odds, low odds, where do we think we're walking away?
I think pretty high. I think we're doing pretty good.
Is there anybody that you're looking at, you're like, please do not let us go up against them unless we absolutely have to?
I mean, really, everybody's good competition, so.
And sorry, what was your name?
Ethan.
Ethan from Mineral Area.
Yep.
Very exciting. Well, Ethan, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. What kind of pass? A player pass?
Let me get you a lanyard.
No, you actually have to like tape it to your chest, like really awkwardly with masking tape. Okay. And it's gonna fall off. Yeah. It's gonna be uncomfortable, I promise. That's a guarantee. Okay, cut that, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, great. I'm great, everything's good.
Who do we interview? Who should we interview?
I don't know, I'm just here. I need caffeine.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Sebdolence, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct tight angles make it tough. You have Axeris that actually gets a wall bang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. A lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're gonna spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, Sledge option gonna be charging for Smash going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit, and pick getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That Claw could have been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part. at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy!
Oh.
Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omens folks coming out. 1, oh, Spec just finds 3.
What?
Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing a stock right now for Concord would be really bad, and, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big
is that we don't have these preconceived notions, and we're willing to listen to our membership and read the room, read college athletics and how it's connected and how it's not, and take what we have expertise in championships, but also throw out some of the other stuff. I remember when we first started, there were some conferences were applying their amateurism rules to all of their esports competitors, and I think we knew enough to know that no, that's not going to work in an esports culture. It's got to be very different. And by the way, the NCAA was going in a different direction. You could see that Train had already left the station on that, and so it's an incredibly dynamic area and ever changing, and will continue to change. And just as we didn't know when we started what it's going to be looking like, I think similarly we still don't know what it's going to be in another 5 years. I know enough to know that all of us are still going to have a thriving esports program that's doing a real good service for our members and for our competitors. But we still don't know necessarily what some of that is going to look like, and that's pretty cool about it all. Let me ask you this, because you all are used to dealing with your athletic directors, and each of them are dealing with what's in front of them in their athletic departments. My guess is at least some of your schools are that this is not necessarily operating within the athletic department. And can you talk about how you navigate that in a conference office And you know, maybe the best way to handle that, or do you have preferences? Do you try to steer them one way or the other? And just talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Sure. The majority of our schools are not under the athletics umbrella. We have one institution that perhaps by next year will be under the auspices of athletics, but most of them are in other departments across campus.
Right.
One of the things that has helped us is that we have support from the president's office. And so in order to participate in Mountain West events, you have to have an adult non-student administrator that oversees that, you know, the eSport program. And that's where we get assistance with, you know, eligibility checks and, you know, what, please complete your roster, things like that. I don't know in the future, and it depends on, you know, who's sitting in the athletics director's chairs, whether or not more esport teams will go under the umbrella of athletics. And I'm kind of indifferent in terms.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So it turns out UAlbany is on quite a roll, D-Danger included, and they're deciding to go play their next match right here, right now. So because in that time to prepare for that next match, they unfortunately aren't able to join us for an interview. Perfectly fine. Best of luck to them. The bracket's only going to get crazier from here on out. So great matches we had today. Super awesome. You're all here to join us. We just want to drop a couple quick reminders before we sign off for the night. But do keep your eyes peeled for the CECC finals held in Arlington, Texas, May 6th and May 7th. I'll be there in person, but if you aren't able to make it in person, we'll also be streaming it over on Esports U. So keep your eyes glued to that. It's going to be a fantastic event. And speaking of said event, currently on Esports U, we're actually streaming an Overwatch Last Chance qualifier to make it over to Arlington in May. So if you guys are hungry and thirsty for a bit more esports content, want to get your hands a little dirty, get into the grease, then definitely head on over to Esports U and soak it all in. Got anything for us to say, Captain?
Nope. Other than that, I just cannot wait to see how the rest of the season plays out here for Esports U. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on everything going down here. And unfortunately, I won't be able to attend a UTA for the LAN event, but I'm definitely going to be peeping out the stream on Esports U main's Twitch channel.
Awesome. Well, that about wraps it up from our end. So thank you all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating with you, Captain. It's been a great time. And doing it all for you here on Esports U. Shout outs to Professor Layton in the back for keeping things moving smoothly this time around. But I'm Combo, and this has been Captain Atsuka, and we're gonna close it off for the night. You guys take care.
Whether it should, because I don't want esports to go down the road that some conventional sports have gone down with the NCAA. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of craft esports in a way that fits what esports is, as opposed to trying to fit it into a conventional athletics box, so to speak.
Right.
You know, I think the success of our program and getting participation is exactly that. The fact that we're not tying it in necessarily to athletics and NCAA eligibility. Like Carolyn, we probably have 3 or 4 schools that are under athletics. And I know it puts them in a difficult position sometimes trying to make some decisions. I got a request recently to consider allowing part-time students to participate during this year, because some schools struggle sometimes to fill out all the games that they want to play with us. And we held off on that for now. You know, we defer to the institution and say, what's your policy for those that are under student development or activities? What's your policy for allowing students to participate? And if you certify that they're eligible under your current policies, then that's good for us. I also think, and I was part of some of the conversations early on with the NCAA years ago about the NCAA getting involved as a Division II representative, and I was crossing my fingers that wouldn't happen, just because I think this needs time to grow, you know, and expand.
Can I ask Rob a question, because you mentioned part-time enrollment, and one of the things that we've done here is that as a conference, we've just set eligibility standards, full-time enrollment, making progress towards your degree as the institution defines it. Are you guys doing something like that as well? Because we've gotten that part-time enrollment question and we've said no.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've gotten that far down the line, Carolyn, to ask for that. I think we kind of put it on the institution, but we do say that the student has to be a full-time. Now, they could be a full-time grad student, but they have to be full-time as from what the institution decides.
Yeah, our eligibility requirements are just as simple as can be. You have to be a full-time student in good standing.
Yes.
And after that, and that's about it. Now I think we wanted as few impediments to getting this thing rolling as possible in the outset. I do think as schools get more competitive, they will start to distrust one another, and that's why we have this 500-page NCAA manual, because schools distrust one another. But we're not there yet. Right now there's still a collective. Let's move this forward, and the fact that the NCAA is not administering it, I think, is really helpful to the growth of it all. And yes, we allow grad students. We don't even have a 4 or 5 year clock. If you are full-time enrolled for 10 years in good standing, you can do. And why not? Why would we not say that that's okay? Now, eventually, like I said, we may change our minds if the schools require it. They say, no, this is crazy. Look what they're doing over there. We don't like, but I think we're still a long way from that. Alex, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything that really Carolyn has said. You're gonna have to forgive me. What was the original question? It's been a minute. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, just kind of what you set out to do, and then what maybe the realities of it all.
https://twitter.com/septulence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his